everybody. My wife's a jerk. My son's a jerk. Doku's a jerk. Fuck all of you. All of you suck. I hate you.
I love you too, Mad Dodge.
Yeah, fuck you. No.
Oh, fuck. I would ask how you're doing, but I already know.
Yeah, well, the intro wasn't fucking enough info. Fuck you.
Oh, well, fuck,
All
man.
right.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about tabletop RPGs a little bit. And in the server, we've been getting a little involved in Vampire the Masquerade. So we're going to touch upon that a little bit tonight. But all right, tabletop RPGs. First one you ever played was D&D, right? Come on, that's everybody's first.
Actually, no. The first one I ever played was Warhammer 40,000. It's first thing I ever did.
Warhammer 40K. Why? Why would that be your first one? That's like you slipped past fucking Lucy Susie and went straight to fucking Stingy Sally. What the fuck?
Oh, dude, come on. Warhammer 40,000 is a far more complicated game than any of the fucking tabletop shit. But no, the whole reason was when I was in third, fourth grade, one of the kids that I was friends with, who I sat next to on the bus, he was British, and he introduced me to Warhammer 40,000, and yeah, my little boy self decided, holy shit, aliens, tanks, sign me up.
Aliens and tanks. Like, you must have loved the X-Files. That's all I'm saying. But
I did. I grew up on the X-Files, man. Come on, why wouldn't I like Warhammer 40,000? Plus, I also liked building models and I like painting and shit. So it's like, dude, this is a win-win-win.
Well, no, and the thing is also, so I didn't really start with a proper role-playing game. It's funny you brought up the bus. I would sit on the bus with my friends, and we were all a bunch of Trekkies. Obviously, if you're a viewer of this channel, you know we love Star Trek. So we would come up with these thought experiments where, well, it was pretty much a tabletop RPG, but without the dice. You know what I mean, Doku?
Yeah, I think I know the game you're talking about because it was similar to the Mech Warrior one that was out around that same time.
Well, the thing was, it wasn't really a game that we bought or anything. It was just like, okay, my character is a pilot. My favorite ship was the Defiant, so I always chose like a Defiant class ship. I do this, I do that, and we just countered each other and maneuvered, and we had this whole world within our own heads, which is pretty much the tabletop RPG genre in a nutshell. But we didn't use dice. We just used wits. You know, as I grew older, then I got introduced to, Dungeons and Dragons, just like every other fucking person that plays tabletop RPGs. I mean, all of us have played the D20 fucking system. Every one of us.
Yeah, to be blunt, I hate the fucking D20 system.
Well, so do I. That's why I really like Vampire and White Wolf system. The D10 system, simplistic as fuck. It's easy to run.
Yeah, and that's because when you start reducing the number of numerical outcomes, God, I'm gonna sound like a math nerd, and I'm actually not good at math, and I hate it. When you start running something from, say, D6, it becomes very, very, very not complicated, but it's not really that fun. D10 at least gives you enough outcomes where it's somewhat predictable, but it's unpredictable enough that it becomes entertaining. The D20 system is just like complete chaos. Like,
Well, I don't think it's complete chaos because with the D&D system, you have the D20, you have the D8, the D6, the D fucking what the fuck ever. I mean, you have percentage dice, you have this die, you have that die, you have your grandmother's fucking die that she hid in the mailman's fucking backpack that the Chihuahua stole 3 years ago. I mean, what the fuck is going on in this goddamn system? I mean,
yeah, well, the D20 again, it involves too many different aspects that it detracts from the game. Like, it takes too long. It's too complicated. It's like, dude, just tell me what my target is, let me roll, and let the game progress past what this one particular instance is. I don't need to spend fucking 5 minutes figuring out if I'm dead or not.
well, no, that takes about 10 seconds, when the ref says, hey, you died. Yeah, that werewolf got you. That's right. The werewolf got you. Just think about that. But that's an inside joke.
Except the werewolf didn't get me because I'm the werewolf killer. I'm the werewolf hunter.
Yeah, for now, Lord fucking Baron Werewolf Killer fucking Sinatra. I don't know. What's your name this week? I don't even fucking remember. The thing
we'll
is,
figure out.
No, let's boil it down. When we're talking about tabletop RPGs, what are you really talking about? You're talking about an interactive story. You're talking about something where you need to sit there and see it in your head. It's like you're reading a book. So you can't go, I'm weaving through this group of people and I head out the other side and I head into this nondescript empty warehouse where I killed this stupid giant spider who called me a cunt. And I called it a bitch. And I chopped its fucking leg off. No. You need to actually go in depth. You need to talk about the rain pounding down. It's hurricane season. It's coming down sideways. The rain's pounding down. The people are still crowded on the street. You need to bob and weave through. As a vampire, well, you smell the blood circulating. You can hear the pulse of the heartbeat. That hunger builds. You want to feed. And then somebody elbows you. Roll self-control. That's how you throw a roll in there, right?
Well, and that's the whole point behind tabletop RPGs, especially things like Vampire, Dungeons and Dragons, Cyberpunk, not the game, but the actual tabletop, is the purpose behind it is not to just roll dice and role play. The purpose behind it is to tell an interactive story. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, go look at either the Fable games or Until Dawn. What's the new one that Supermassive just did? Man of Medan, however the fuck it's pronounced. Where your actions do affect how the story unfolds. It's not like the story is preset. It's the actions of the players and how the players interact that actually control how the story moves and what happens with the story. It's like an interactive movie. In this case, an interactive book. It's not just pure chance. It's up to the players, but also the storytellers to direct how everything unfolds. Things could go great. As Mad Dodge knows from a few days ago, things could go south really, really, really fucking quick. All it takes is one person to make a really stupid decision or have a really, really bad dice roll. But that's what makes it fun.
Well, no, and that's the thing. That's why, especially when you're playing these games on Discord or any other internet-based way, you don't want to lie. You really don't. That one that you're dreading will actually make the game better. It will. It'll make it more entertaining. It'll give you a challenge, and if you die, you can always write up a new character. It's no big deal. Um, so like you play with people, and they got 8 dice in the pool, and they get what 13 successes, and they're not showing the dice roll. Yeah, okay, you probably lied, but we can't prove it, so whatever, we'll roll with it. You know why we roll with it? It's because it's a detriment to you as the player, because that one would have really helped out the story and given you a challenge. Now it's a cakewalk, and you'll get like 1 XP. Good for you. Have fun.
Well, dude, that's like with what happened a few games ago that we were playing. I did not want to roll a 10, and I think it was like a 10, an 8, and a 9 or some shit like that. Because now my one character by himself is trying to fight like 11 fucking werewolves or some shit. Like, I should have my limbs ripped apart. It's like, no, I don't want that type of courage roll. I want to run away like a bitch because I'm going to die. Rolling good is not always necessarily a good thing. If I was going to lie, I would have said, yeah, I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3. Let me run, please. I don't want to die yet.
Well, no, and the thing is also, as the storyteller, you could always change it up. You're like, hey, Doku, random encounter roll, 1d10. You're like, bam, I got a 10. That's awesome. I'm like, yeah, well, you're walking down the alleyway, and there's a path running through the two, and out comes a woman with a baby carriage. Older lady, hood over, tucked down, pushing the carriage. What do? You're like, oh, it's just an old lady. I ignore her, whatever. Turns out she's a goddamn demon, and she eats your fucking face. Oh, yeah? That 10 roll? I actually switched the dice. That 10 was a 1. Go fuck yourself. I'm the storyteller. Right? I mean, you get to do that shit.
Well, and also, if the storyteller starts suspecting that, yeah, you're lying, especially when you're playing over something like Discord or something, they might punish you for trying to bend the game to your will, or if you have like a cheat or something, like Lucius Fox, rest in peace. But yeah, no, there is that aspect of you want to keep the game fair and even, but you have to keep it entertaining for everybody. And that's why things like this are fun, is because it's not about it's what's the right way to put it? It's not about trying to win the game so much as it's just about people trying to sit down and have a good time and tell an interesting story and see what people do.
Well, yeah, and the thing is also, when it comes to these RPG games, it's really about the interaction. Now, that being said, when you're trying to run a game and you're going through your description, and there's a player that just keeps interrupting and asking questions that should have been asked before or after the game, it does get irritating.
Oh yeah, I'm guilty of that, I will admit.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, in general, like the idea of, setting the stage. the fog rolls in. You're walking through this empty cemetery. You see the mausoleum rise up before you. Hey, real quick, I got a question. Yeah, can I spend some XP on another point of Auspex? Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude. I'm in the middle of something, right?
Okay, yeah, I get where you're coming from on that one. It's like, dude, if you wanted to spend EXP, if you wanted to do something, you should ask it before the scene is set. Like you have to think of it like you're writing a screenplay for a movie. When you start setting the scene, you start setting the stage, you have the characters, they're already in play. Don't interrupt the storyteller when they're setting the scene. If you want to spend experience points or you want to do something, at least wait for the scene to be set. And if you want to spend EXP, wait for everything to finish.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's so infuriating. It's like, you know, and as a player, you're sitting there and you're listening, right? Sometimes you'll even close your eyes and you're trying to imagine this scene just unfold before you. And then you get some jackass interrupting and you're like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be the equivalent of like if you're writing a book and you're setting the scene, like you're saying, like with one of the intros for my book, you know, the ashen branches are swaying and struggling in the wind. There's, you know, the clouds on the horizon are slowly darkening. You can hear the thunder in the background. Oh, wait, hold on. Can I do that? No, stop. I'm setting the fucking scene. Wait, it breaks the mood. Like, don't do that. It
Yeah,
ruins it.
it's almost like the cutscene, like the opening for Resident Evil fucking 20,000, whatever, I don't care. The cutscene, and then suddenly some jackass in a movie theater stands up and goes, "Oh, wait a minute, zombies aren't real."
Yeah, exactly. It's like he just stood up in the middle of a fucking movie theater and was like, "Sorry guys, I gotta walk in front of you. I need to take a piss." It's like, dude, sit the fuck back down. Hold it for fucking 1 minute. It's
Or
almost done.
2 hours. I don't give a shit. Pee yourself, but fuck off anyway. Yeah, I mean, really. What? Like, ah.
Yeah, like if you wanna ask questions when interactions are going on, that's one thing. But the scene don't interrupt when the scene is being set, especially when it's the storyteller. Don't do that. That ruins it for everybody.
Well, no, and I gotta step away for a second and check on the food in the oven. But no, another thing I want to touch upon is RPG games in general. Doku. You have a lot of things. You have Shadowrun, you got Warhammer 40K, you got Vampire the Masquerade, Dungeons and Dragons, the fucking ultimate classic. You have a new Song of Ice and Fire RPG. You have all these things on the table. What do you look for in a tabletop game? And as you discuss that, I can hear you, but I am gonna step away.
Okay, so I'll go on a little bit of a talk. I know the best way to look at an RPG, whether it's a tabletop like Warhammer 40,000, where you can take models, you can paint them however you want. You can look at Dungeons and Dragons or Vampire the Masquerade, where it's mostly story driven and you have to play a character. Even if you take like World of Warcraft, where you have role playing servers where you're playing a character. Doesn't matter if it's a video game, uh, a written tabletop type of game. Excuse me, I'm gonna die over here real quick. Uh, or if you have a video game where role playing is a thing. The number one thing you always look for in these types of games with this particular type of setting is you're looking to try to create a story. You want to create a character. You want to create a narrative. and you want to see how that narrative plays out. It's like reading a book, except you're both the author and you're also playing a character. So all of you can control the narrative to some degree. So you're playing a tabletop game like Warhammer 40,000. You can choose how to move your pieces. You can choose what the backstory of whatever army you're playing is. Or if you're looking at, say, Warhammer 40,000, or not Warhammer, Warcraft, you can create your character, and as you play through the game, you create that character, and through the experiences, you can role play that character and interact with other characters. That will affect how your character interacts with everybody else. It's about the interaction and about how that plays into the universe as a whole. It's not a set thing. Versus if you're just reading a book, yeah, the book's going to play out in a certain way because there's only one author. There's only one person writing it. That's not what you run into when it comes to role playing. When it comes to role playing, you're essentially the one writing the story. What makes it so much more entertaining is it's not just you writing the story. It's the interaction between the other characters that directs how the story is going to go. So everything could go great until somebody makes a really, really stupid decision or makes a really, really bad roll. In which case, well, now you're all fucked. Have fun trying to deal with that.
Well, no, and here's the thing, to butt right back in and jump back into the game here. Okay, we're gonna start recording and doing a little bit of editing and throwing up a vampire session once or twice a week here, and here soon in the near future. The thing is, though, the last game we were playing was pretty much let's burn it all down. It was like the last action hero. That's not necessarily a Vampire the Masquerade game, is it? And there's a part of this where you need to stay true to what the game is. So what is Dungeons and Dragons? Well, it's an action adventure role-playing game set in the high medieval era. It's high fantasy. It's elven, dwarves, goblins, humans. That's what you get. Trolls, fairies, what have you. What is Vampire the Masquerade? That is a gothic steampunk type of story where you have, you play a anti-hero pretty much, right? So you're not necessarily the good guy like in D&D, but you're not necessarily Satan. You're somewhere in the middle. You're in a gray area. And that's a fun area to play in. The other games, I don't know much about. Do you know anything about Cthulhu or Shadowrun or any of these other games where you can lend some insight into that genre? Because I've never played those games.
I mean, they're not much different from the D&D model. They have their own quirks. And they have their own feels, just kind of like how Vampire the Masquerade has its own setting. But they're inevitably at the core, they're all the same because it's not necessarily about like what system you're using or what the rule set is, but the core to any type of these style of tabletop RPG games is it's really just about having a group of players that will play their characters, work together. You have a storyteller who can craft a story, and make it entertaining for everybody. And at the end of the day, there's an end goal. Whether you win or lose is not really the important part. It's about trying to take the characters that your players have crafted and guiding them on their own, hero's journey, so to speak, and trying to keep the group together, having some compare and contrast, it keep everything together. Let people have an entertaining narrative. That's the whole point behind it. This is going to sound like a weird comparison. If you've ever played Heavy Rain, I think is the name of the game, or Until Dawn, or the newest one from Supermassive Studios, Man of Medan, or Medan, whatever it's called. They're video games that play like you're playing through a movie, but depending on what character you're playing as and what choice you make, that changes the narrative and how it affects all of the other characters. It's the same thing with tabletop RPGs. Like, one person can ruin the game for everybody or make it great for everybody. That's how tabletop RPGs work.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, like, okay, so when it comes to tabletop RPGs, do you like the idea of the expanded universe? Like, you have White Wolf, a World of Darkness, the classic World of Darkness, where you have a bunch of source books, a bunch of fucking clan books, a bunch of this, a bunch of that. You have Dark Ages, Victorian era, everything from A to Z. You have it all. Or when they sold it and went to V5, where they condensed it down and made it simple. Here you go, clean cut, here's your game. Which one do you prefer? Me? I like the deeper lore. I like the idea of more clans and more intrigue. The more the backstory, the fucking better. You know what I mean? I'm more of the game master type of guy where what can I craft? Oh my God, here's a giant library of what I can craft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're asking, but honestly, I like, from the mechanic standpoint, I like more condensed, simple, to the point types of mechanics. But I like looser lore so that people can, and they have the ability to kind of craft their own game that's unique and do something that it doesn't have to adhere to the lore. Like, one of my bigger complaints about the newer Warhammer 40K things when it comes to a specific faction, the Tyranids, is if I don't use a specific hive fleet, then I don't get certain perks. So I either have to be hive fleet Behemoth, Leviathan, I forget what the other one is. I'm drawing a blank. But can I not create my own? I don't like the restrictions when it comes to the rule sets. So I should be able to have some creative freedom. If it goes past that, then I have a problem. But as far as lore goes, I'm perfectly okay with lore. So, like with Vampire, as we're playing it, let's say I decide that there's a subset of the Brujas, or the Malkavians, or the Toradors, and for whatever reason, they are this way. I still like that creative freedom. I think that rules should be more of a guideline, but not not set in stone, so to speak. What say you,
Well, so
sir?
more like the Pirates Code, right? Um, and the epileptic insomniac says, "Classic, fuck the world." Um, I don't know, man. I like the old World of Darkness. Matter of fact, uh, eBay gave me a free $5 fucking coupon, right? So for $3, I got the Torador source book Doku and
Mm-hmm.
10 D10 dice. I believe they are green die. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And I got it for like three something total. $3 and like 23 cents because of the $5 off coupon. Good deal.
That's not a bad deal at all.
Right? Yeah. Way to go, eBay. 2 thumbs up from this guy. We'll see when I get the product. So maybe I'll do an unboxing. YouTube people seem to like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it.
Shit, might as well.
Yeah, but
But
when
yeah,
it
just to touch on what you were talking about, I don't mind the lore. What irritates me is when a rule set is put in place that doesn't allow you to play with it. Because you should be allowed to play and twist things to the type of story you're trying to tell and also mold it to the people you're playing with. Like, I don't like playing a game when I feel like I have shoes made of cement, so to speak.
well, and sometimes the player will paint themselves into their own corner, right? Let's touch upon that. How should a player act on an RPG game like this? Should you follow along with the storyteller or the DM, GM, whatever you want to call them, or do you do your own thing and cause fucking havoc and chaos? I mean,
It,
because we've all encountered both types of players.
I don't think it's necessary to fully stick to how your character is, and I don't think it's necessary to follow along with how the GM is trying to push your character, but it is important to pay attention to if this is the character I'm playing, these are the events I've been put through, this is what the GM is saying, how do I want to react? Like, in a way, you kind of have to be a storyteller yourself, just so the character evolves in a way that feels organic but also fresh at the same time. It at the you're essentially writing a character organically. Like as they go through the different experiences they have, your character is going to change. You have to change with it. And the GM is going to be someone who presents you with you can do this or you can do that. What path do you choose?
Well, no, and epileptic insomniac says my players always go with chaos. Hey man, seriously, I believe you are in the Discord. If you are not, let me know, and I will make sure you are promptly invited. Um, if you like role playing games, we have been playing Vampire the Masquerade every day for like 4 months straight in my Discord. Um, all
And
summer
it's
long.
and it's been fun as shit. It's just a complete aside. I I love the internet and the fact that we can interact with people from all over the fucking world and we can sit down and do this instead of normally I would have to go to my local comic shop or my local hobby shop and find someone that actually wants to play. Now I can just sit back and do whatever the fuck I feel like.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, man, when it comes to these games, really, it is half storyteller and half player. And as the player, okay, my player in the game, I was the Baron of Portland. I've pretty much been ousted and I ran to New Orleans. So in today's game, I presented myself before the Prince of New Orleans. Well, I was a La Sombra and I was cast out of the clan. My weakness is I have no reflection. I rolled a 1. So guess what? I was standing before the Camarilla Prince in front of a mirror. And he asked the obvious, "What the fuck is that? You have no reflection." My character, being a 6th gen, and this guy's an 8th, and he's a peasant to me. I look at him and I go, "That's a fucking mirror. It looks like it's broken." Well, he wasn't impressed. So I then used my discipline dominate. And I told him pretty much, "You're going to let me live in the city. And as long as I stay out of your way, you'll stay out of mine." And it worked. Did it though? I left the court and now they're all talking about how I used my power on the prince of the city. It didn't really work. See, the intrigue that goes into these games, that's something that needs to be discussed, right, Doku? That's where I was getting with this whole diatribe. Is the political intrigue, the little things that the player might not notice, but the fucking storyteller has to work at to fucking introduce. You know what I mean?
And that's the big point behind games like this. If anytime you're doing RPG, it doesn't matter if it's tabletop, it doesn't matter if it's Dungeons and Dragons, it doesn't matter if it's an RP server on World of Warcraft, it doesn't matter if it's Warhammer 40,000. The whole point is the characters, the storytelling, the lore, how certain things play out. I mean, look at Arch Warhammer's series on the Siege of Rex. It random things like that. There are instances where you can just take the lore and create a story that does not exist within the existing lore and play it out in real time. That's what makes these types of games so much fun, especially if you're doing it in the type of fashion that we're doing with like Vampire the Masquerade, because yes, something might be going down. Now all of a sudden Portland's fucking burning. Now we're in New Orleans. Things will evolve in ways and characters will act in ways that neither you nor the storyteller have any direct control over. And it creates a very interesting narrative.
No, it does. Like the prince looked at me and goes, "What the fuck is that? You have no reflection," right? And the implication for those that don't know, is the clan La Sombra is a clan of the Sabbat. The Sabbat, well, hates the Camarilla and vice versa. I was a La Sombra. I was cast out. So my weakness is I cast no reflection. So here I am talking to the Camarilla Prince in a city I've never been to before. And right to my left is a gigantic fucking mirror. And guess what? This guy isn't in the mirror. That's a fucking issue. Would you have that issue in a game like Dungeons and Dragons? No. No, you wouldn't. It's a whole different mechanic to the game, isn't it?
Well, it all depends on the type of story you're telling. You could easily put that sort of story or that sort of element into a game of D&D. This is why I say I like mechanics that are more loose. So the game master can put things like that into it. So let's say one of your party members actually is a vampire, and suddenly a character rolls a certain number and realizes, wait a second, you don't have a reflection. Now, do you trust this character? Do you continue to go? Like, this is where the dungeon master doesn't really have a say in how the narrative progresses, and it's up to the characters to figure out how they react to it. And that's what makes things so interesting, because it's not just one person writing the story, it's one person plus however many players. Let's say one attacks them, let's say one tries to stop them, let's say the other two are just kind of shocked that they've been walking around with a vampire the entire time, and let's say the last one runs. What do? Let's see how it plays out. That's what makes this type of shit so much fun.
Well, yeah, no, and like the last instance in my gameplay tonight was this. I was walking towards Lafayette Cemetery in Nolens, right? And me and my childer, Midnight, we were headed that way. And random encounter roll. Okay, I roll. Bam, a 1. All right, it's not going to be good, is it? Here's a black spiral dancer right in front of me. Full battle form, ready to go. You know what I would have done 2 days ago? Pulled my sword and fought him. You know what I did this time? I ran, ducked. I ran, ducked, hid. I yelled, hey, I have no problem with you. He picked up the dumpster and threw it. I ran under him, crossed the street, ran again. Hey, knock it off. Let's fucking talk. And guess what the storyteller did? We fucking talked. And now I'm headed to the Black Spiral Dancers Karin in the next game. By myself, I might be killed. You know, I might die. Then again, I might succeed. You know what I've never done before? Let's talk to a goddamn werewolf. Here we go. I get to talk to some werewolves. Like, at least that one.
That's not going to work out very well for my character, though, considering they won't be dead.
Oh, no, I even said that. I'm like, wait till good old Bruce finds out I'm talking to werewolves. He'll be pissed. You're
gonna end up getting my character killed. Yeah, for people listening, my character decided I want to kill the werewolf, the one that has strength 9 while I have strength 3, and I succeeded. And now I am hunted by werewolves, something to the tune of like 20, I believe.
Well, no, and to be fair, you're hunted by 20 Wendigos. Wendigos inhabit the north. You're fine. You're in Nolens, dude. You're good to go. All we got is black spiral dancers and everything else.
Oh, so maybe I can actually try to start some infighting between the two.
Oh, they already hate each other, so you'll win. Matter of fact, I wish you were with me on this one. You'd be great. You're like, I'm Sir fucking Lord Werewolf Killer. And you're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, we fucking hate those bastards too.
I have been given a title, so I don't know. Maybe after we're done here on the stream, we can play a quick game, because fun things might happen.
You want to be fucking spiral dancers? Go fuck yourself, dude. You ain't treaded on my fucking tailcoats.
I'm just trying to keep things interesting. I've got 2 swords made of silver, and
because that won't fuck my shit up at all.
Yeah, it just depends on who I side with.
Yeah, no. Okay, so for the 3 people watching at this moment, we are talking about Vampire the Masquerade. In Vampire the Masquerade, there are clans. Let's talk about some of the clans. Let's start with, I don't know, the Clan of the Moon. Tell everybody about Clan Malkavian, Doku. You know a lot about them.
And what do you want me to tell them about Clan
Everything.
Malkavian?
Tell them how crazy you people are. They believe in pink elephants and cotton candy all at the same time. It's wonderful.
Yeah, we're all batshit nuts, and that's really all you need to know. We're fucking all crazy. We're basically like the Joker for Vampire the Masquerade. We're just nuts. We do whatever the fuck we want. Not necessarily that it actually benefits anybody, ourselves included, but why the fuck not?
Hey Doku, I think that's your girlfriend in the chat. Will you send her a link, please?
Oh, she's okay.
Chem Lab. I'm pretty sure that's Chem, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Send her the StreamYards link, please. I don't want to throw it in the open chat, so that's why I'm asking. I believe I have her on DMs, but you know, truth be told, I don't talk to your girlfriend all that often. I wonder why.
Fucking StreamYards is fucking trash.
Oh, you're gonna make me DM your girlfriend. All right, fine. Let me find her.
Yeah, send it to her because their mobile support is still experimental. It would drop me out of the chat if I tried to.
Yeah, Kim, there is the link in your DMs. I just sent it to you. And she said, "Wow." So I'm sure this should be fun.
No, I tried this with Shandor last night, and because StreamYards is still garbage. Anytime I open StreamYards either via Twitter or via Discord, it drops me out of the chat, and then I can send the link.
Well, no, I sent it to her. Hey Kim, if you can still hear us, Discord. I DM'd you. I believe that's the only place I have you as a friend on is Discord. So that's where I sent the link. There she is. Add to stream. Hey Kim, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hey, how you been?
Hello there, my love.
Hey, you handsome fucking bastard. And how's
How
it going?
are you doing?
Oh no, everything's fine. We're just talking a little bit about RPGs and Vampire the Masquerade, kind of setting everybody up for when we start doing the stream on here.
Matt, are we going to actually like get together? And the reason I actually joined is because I was going to ask, are we ever going to actually get together so that we can set up my character or what?
Absolutely. Just DM me, or me, you, and Doku could chat after the show. And Doku actually has an idea for your character, right, Doku?
But Doku has my idea for my character.
No, Doku made a ghoul recently. Yeah, he has a little girly friend in Vampire. You might want to deal with that. No.
Now, specifically, I want that to be Kim's character because I want to turn her and I want to make her a Malkavian. And considering she was already doing that to begin with, I have one revolver. I have 2 swords made of silver. I might want to give this one character who is very athletic, very dexterous, very flexible, very aggressive. I might want to give her one of those swords. And
no, wait a minute. I'm not letting you go past that, Doku. Really flexible. Really? Like, seriously? You added, yeah, okay.
well, if you
No.
saw the character sheet I built out for her, and also, yeah, that would fit Kim perfectly because, yeah, she might or might not have cracked some of my ribs at some point in the past.
Oh, are you kidding? Might or might not have.
Oh. Damn. Yeah, so Jerry. Okay.
And we get frisky from time to time. What can I say?
And occasionally frisky turns into just straight up violence.
So what you're saying, Cam, is you would be better suited as a werewolf hunting Doku. I could do
No.
that.
No. You do not understand. I live my life by like nightlight.
Oh, wait, you drink blood and shit? All right, cool. You're automatically a vampire, Malkavian. Set it up. We're good to go. I'm kidding, Kevin.
The sad thing is, I'm actually talking about my real life, and this somehow plays into role playing.
I know, and I'm just totally joking, Kim. But on a serious note,
dude, on a serious note, this is all true.
How you been though? It's been a little bit since I've talked to you. Hopefully
I'm about to get hit with a hurricane.
Oh, you're in the path of that, huh? So
yeah. This is my first hurricane in Florida.
Oh.
Times.
You're not by the Keys, right? Like, don't say where you are. We're live on air, obviously, but you're not by the Keys, right?
No, I mean I'm on the Gulf, but either way, we're all fucked. It's just gonna be one fucking shit show.
Well, you could always, you could always head to your boyfriend's place.
I can't drive, sweetheart.
That's right. Doku, go pick up your fucking girlfriend. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, because I'm going to make him drive 16 freaking hours.
No, he should. That's it. No. I'm mad. What the hell, Doku? No.
Oh, fuck both. Well, no. Well, fuck him literally and Mad Dodge figuratively.
I was about to say, motherfucker, like, I'm sitting here defending you. I will beat the fucking ever loose shit out your ass.
Yeah, you turned on her quick.
I love you too, baby.
Yeah, suck my dickhole.
Oh, wait, no, now you just made it kinky.
Wait, do you make Doku wax your balls? Never mind. I don't want to know.
No, but I make him wax his own.
Oh. Ouch, dude. Are you... Ow.
Oh, you have no idea. You should see him trying to, like, wince and wait to pull the strip off. Oh, it's beautiful.
No.
Glorious, beautiful thing.
No, just stop. No.
Now do you see why I fucking love this girl?
That's horrible.
And now do you see why you shouldn't ask questions you really don't want the answer to?
Yes. Oh, shit. Okay. God damn it. How do I follow that up? Let's see here. I'll try. All right. When it comes to RPG games, Doku, Do you prefer the well-established games like your Dungeons and Dragons, your Old World of Darkness, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Vampire the Masquerade, Hunter the Reckoning, these type of things, or do you like the newer stuff where you have the more obscure or the simple down, where you have the V5 vampire? I'm not gonna mess with the V5 vampire. I might take some of the scenarios, but when it comes to the dice and all that shit, nah. Leave me in V2, man. I'm not following you guys. But
To be perfect,
you do have the newer stuff.
Go ahead, Kim. I want to hear your take on this.
well, I was just about to say to Mad, Vampire the Masquerade, I personally know from like the 90s and, well, 90s. So I don't know what you're talking about with the new stuff anyways. So if you could explain that, that'd be awesome.
Okay, Kim, so what we're playing in the Discord is what you know. It is V2. It is circa 1994, 1995. It is the old school Vampire the Masquerade. What they came out with was this year, 2019. They came out with version 5. It has totally new dice. It has a whole new streamlined
Oh, fuck all that noise.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, Kim, you're totally right. They took all the lore that we have from the old World of Darkness, and they said, fuck all that. The La Sombra are joining the Camarilla and go fuck everybody. Like, they totally fucked everything over. Like, if you know anything, you said you played...
I really don't know. No, I didn't play. I only knew about it.
Okay, you knew about the old school
vampire. No, actually, Doku, you know my cousin, right? She used to play that, like, when I was 12 and she was 16, 17, or I was 11, she was around, those ages. That's when she used to play it. That's what I know, just from what she used to tell me. If that makes sense, Mad.
And so what I'm gonna go with, just to answer your question, Mad. I prefer the old school stuff as far as something like D&D or Vampire the Masquerade. When it comes to newer stuff, I don't like the Wizards of the Coast shit or any of that kind of crap where they're essentially they're pulling a Star Wars and they're trying to fucking retcon everything and update it for current year. But when it comes to damn it, why am I blanking? Help me, someone, fuck, kill me.
Vampire Masquerade.
When it comes to like the crowdfunded stuff, like the indie stuff, I like the indie stuff because it's not the same as the bullshit that you get from like WotC. Granted, it's not gonna be as mainstream. Yeah, so but you're not gonna find players.
Doku, I gotta cut you off here. All right. So here's the thing: you have the old school World of Darkness. They copied that, right? They made Blade. They made Underworld. They made some people could say that Vampire was kind of based off of the Lost Boys and John Carpenter's Vampires and the stuff before it and the stuff
John
after
Carpenter's it. Not Lost Boys.
The Bruja is kind of like the Lost Boys, though, Ken. They're kind of the same thing. They're angry rebels.
Except for the fact that Brujas are actually an an actual religion that has nothing to do with. I mean, it still has to do with vampirism and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, no, and Kim, I'm not arguing with you. My point here would be like, you have okay. Here's a simplistic way to put it. Interview with the Vampire. What is that? That is Clan Toreador. That's what it is. Lestat and Louis, they're Toreadors. It's simple. Look at them. Look at their love for art and Gothic architecture. Look at the way they
Is
act.
there something wrong with that?
There is nothing wrong with that. On the other side of the coin, there was a lawsuit when Underworld came to production. There was a lawsuit where the owners of White Wolf sued the production, and guess what? It didn't go to court. It got settled out of court with an NDA. You know what that tells me? That tells me
Non-disclosure.
Underworld is the direct reflection of White Wolf and the World of Darkness. So we're looking at the World of Darkness on screen. What do you have in Underworld? You have the antediluvians coming to life and the werewolf war, right? I mean, that is totally World of Darkness. So
Underworld was a film adaptation of what would be Vampire the Masquerade if you were going to put it in film.
No, it was, and that's why it was settled out of court, dude. Yeah, it was. And Cam, go ahead.
I would say that it's really impossible to argue that, and the reason it probably got settled out of court is because no matter what, no side would actually win on that argument. You really can't quantify what makes a game like, or an open-ended game like that.
That's not my point necessarily either. The reason I'm saying Underworld is Vampire the Masquerade is because it's the lore that they use and the narrative that they push. It is Vampire the Masquerade. But
shit. No, Doku. Wait,
Into the Vampire, the original movie was what Vampire the Masquerade originally was. I don't know what it is now. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure.
But I'm only talking about the first iteration.
Originally was like when Interview with the Vampire came out, and it was all about that.
Oh, and again, I'm only talking about the first iteration of Vampire the Masquerade because that's what Underworld was. It was a group of vampires that all had their own three specific clans, and their major enemy was werewolves. And it was an underground, don't let the normal humans, don't let the normies find out. That was the whole premise of the movie. The reason that the lawsuit would have been settled out of court is because that's also not a unique idea.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was just saying.
Well, it's like when the one person, I forgot who it was, tried to sue J.K. Rowling for the use of the term Muggle. So it's like, yeah, it's not original, but it has a lot of similarities. So it's one of those types of scenarios where Simpsons did it. But Mad Dodge, you were going to say something.
Yeah, no, I was gonna talk about the chat here. Epileptic Insomniac says True Blood had actual sheriffs, so and I can imagine him with his shoulders shrugged, like, yeah, because the sheriffs was the thing in what 93, 94 when the Masquerade came out. That was their invention. I mean, all these tropes that you talk about when it comes to these modern day vampire stories are really tropes that came from the Masquerade.
Oh, dude, they're not even tropes from Vampire the Masquerade. They're tropes that have been repeated over and over again for the past 400 years. They're not new. It there there's European there's plenty of European stories involving vampires, werewolves, and other even Wendigos, the Rake, like all this stuff. It's not new. It's been around for hundreds, if not thousands of fucking years. It's not unique. It's not new. Never has been. So for someone to try to sit there and claim that, oh, you're ripping off this story, that would be like me saying Vampire the Masquerade is ripping off the Victorian era. Because that's what they did. That's exactly what Vampire the Masquerade is. It's a Victorian era political drama, just with vampires. It's not unique at all.
Okay, well, you want to say it's not unique. Let's run with that idea. Well, if it's not unique, then it's not an IP, an intellectual property. If it's not an IP, how do they win a lawsuit with the creators of Underworld? I'm saying
because they settled
valid and false, to be honest, because I believe it is an intellectual property. I believe they do have a unique storyline and they created their own world. I believe it is a world almost as comparable to Tolkien's world. Really, they created the idea of vampires as gangsters. That's really what we're dealing with here. It's a vampire society, a secret society, an order that is almost like the mafia. That's what we're dealing with, and that is unique. That is an IP, my friend.
I gotta disagree with you on that one. It's not unique. It's unique enough that they can say this is an original IP, but nothing about what they did is actually unique. You can argue it all you want. It's not. It's taking the idea of Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's taking certain ideas that were already in place. It's taking certain names, certain labels that were already in place, creating a few. The only thing unique about it is the way that the game is played and how the mechanics work. That's what makes it unique. But when it comes to this underground aristocratic idea of Bram Stoker, Nosferatu, idea of vampires, werewolves, shit like that, none of that is unique. The only thing unique about Vampire the Masquerade is the fact that it's a tabletop RPG that uses a very specific type of mechanic system based on a D10 dice roll. That's the only thing they have that can stand in court. That's why it was settled out of court, because if it were to go to court, that's the only thing they got. It'd be much easier for them to settle out of court and just not waste any more money and continue on doing what they do.
Well, no, and we just passed the 1 hour mark. Let's go on to something a little bit different here. You have other RPG games. You have Varg's Nordic game. I do own a hard copy of that. It's Masquerade or Mythic role playing RPG or some Masquerade. And it's like a Nordic Viking era type of RPG game. It's really interesting, but it goes into the stereotype of every class in that game is a white person. It's a European, you know, ethnicity. When you look at White Wolf, you kind of see the same type of stereotypes, don't you? You kind of see like, okay, the La Sombra, they're mostly from Spain. You have the Kindred of the East. So you have, yeah, they don't believe in Cain and they believe in dragons and all this Oriental mythology. That's not stereotyping anybody at all, right? Um, and when it comes to White Wolf, it gets worse as you dive into the werewolf and the weresharks and the were dinosaurs and all this other lore where they really get into stereotypes. Like, did you know were dinosaurs? None of them come from North America. There's 3 groups: one from Africa, one from India, and one from China. That's it. And they all have racial fucking traits to their fucking class. Isn't that weird, Doku? Like, even I think that's fucking weird.
Yeah, I'm honestly not even sure what to say about that one. Like, and
What are you thinking at that point? Like, oh, they're Chinese, they love dragons. Are you stupid? I mean, what are you doing right now?
and as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand. I don't understand the people that are saying, "Oh, this must be racist or sexist or something or something." No, stop. Just stop. Stop trying to make it about your fucking identity politics bullshit. It's not.
That's the thing, though. I totally agree. But when the company itself makes it about the politics, and then they're so blatantly blind to their own inefficiencies, it's really fucking laughable, isn't it?
That's what makes me scratch my head because you intentionally made something diverse. That's like saying the T-Rex from the south side of Pangea is racist because it isn't the same color as the T-Rex from the east or the west or the north side of Pangea.
Let me put it this way. The video I watched today about the were dinosaurs, which is a thing. I know everybody's like, "Oh my god, were dinosaurs? That's fucking stupid." Guess what? It is a thing, all right? In Werewolf the Apocalypse, it is a thing. Now, you have 3 classes. You have the Eastern, the Central, and the Western. And what you're looking at here is, like I said, the Oriental, the Indian, and the African. You know who's left out? The European. There are no white were dinosaurs. None of European ancestry. You cannot have a great grandmommy or great granddaddy who was a were dinosaur from Africa and you're white. Nope, can't happen. Fuck you. You need to be fucking Kuta Kinte. That's all there is to it. It's fucking weird.
Doesn't that seem a little racist in and of itself?
Right? Yeah, that's fucking weird, right? That's what I'm saying. It's fucking weird. And like Epileptic says, yeah, fuck that T-Rex. Right? I mean, seriously. Wait a minute. I gotta pick cotton before I can be a T-Rex. This is some bullshit. I got short ass arms. What the fuck?
Well, also, doesn't that by the same SJW logic, doesn't that mean they're calling everyone who is not a white European dinosaur prehistoric and primitive? Because Kind of sounds like it, don't you think? Are you calling them dinosaurs?
God,
Is
I
that what
never
you're
thought
saying?
of it that way. No, I was thinking of it like, oh shit, the Europeans are left out. We can't be dinosaurs. But no, you're looking at it as the opposite. Oh, we're vampires, we're banshees, we're fae, we're werewolves, we're were-sharks, we're were-everything other than dinosaurs. Why? Because you're primitive little fucks. Fuck you, you lizard fucks. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Couldn't you make that argument? Because I think that's the argument they're making. You're all just a bunch of prehistoric, extinct, don't even deserve to be alive in current year types of like people. Is that what inclusivity and intolerance looks like?
Yeah. No,
Interesting message to send.
Yeah, no, and Kim, if you've been sitting there for a minute, I just noticed you on this app. I have to add you. But no, Epileptic says Dino was an Uncle Tom. Yeah, and he built a cabin too. Fuck him. No.
This is why it's so fun to take these arguments that these individuals use and spin it back around on them, because literally that's what these individuals are saying. No, the Europeans, the white dinosaurs, that they must have been clearly more evolved. Yeah, the African dinosaurs and the Asian dinosaurs and everyone excluding the white Europeans must have just been primal beasts.
Really? Because I've heard it the exact opposite way around.
Well,
that's the point. That's the entire point.
Anti-white dinosaurs want you to think that. All right.
It makes no fucking sense. Like,
I know, it really doesn't. But people are so freaking dumb that they'll cling to these stupid ideologies that make absolutely bonkers sense.
It's funny. It's funny to point out. Yeah, it's funny to point out because we was the Kangs, we was the Tyrannosaurus Rexes. Oh, okay, so you're the big bad lizard that got wiped out, that no longer exists and went extinct. Okay.
Yeah. You got taken out by a chicken.
Yeah, dude. Oh, beat my boomstick. Boom.
This is why I love pointing this type of shit out, because they never have a rebuttal, because they don't fucking understand their own hypocrisy and their own double standards. I don't like calling them stupid.
But you should call them stupid. You don't like to, but it's the most appropriate or apropos term.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't like calling them stupid. It's more of selective logic. So when you point it,
like no, wait a minute. Is that like what women use? You know, the selective hearing.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's going on here, Doku? You're half woman, aren't you? Yeah, you got an extra Y, don't you?
I mean, well, why do you think I fucking love Kim so much? She doesn't put up with bullshit. If you want to give me a bullshit argument, go ahead and give me a bullshit argument. But if you do, I'm gonna fucking point it out. And the second you try to fucking justify your fucking own hypocritical double fucking standard, don't expect me to sit there and fucking just accept your fucking hypocrisy as fucking truth. Like, no, you're full of fucking shit.
He will defend his logic to the death.
Yeah, I will end you, Batman.
Hey, you know what?
And somehow Batman always survives.
Hey, you know what? If you wanna challenge, hold on, Mad Judge. if you want to try to challenge my logic and get into an actual fucking debate with me, and Kim, you know I'm fucking standing by this. If you can challenge me and you can prove that I'm fucking wrong beyond any reasonable doubt,
Okay, well,
I will.
what are we getting into?
Oh no, just let me finish.
No, you
if-
said any debate.
Yeah, no, and Kim has the wrap it up B box going. Wrap it up, B.
But
No.
if you can prove me wrong beyond reasonable doubt, I at least have the fucking balls to say, you know what? I was wrong. I concede my point.
Okay.
But you have to be able to fucking prove it.
Tell me why we shouldn't end the Fed.
I think we should.
Okay. Tell me
Actually,
why. Tell me why we shouldn't back our currency in oil.
I don't
Because
think we should. That's a bad idea.
It's too tumultuous of an actual investment.
Okay, it's too fluid of an investment. I would pose to you that having no investment whatsoever is too fluid of an investment. Therefore, the fiat currency.
Well,
therefore, the fiat currency
no,
is irrelevant, invalid, and we should back it by at least oil, if not a hard currency.
Why does it have to be oil or nothing?
It doesn't have to be oil or nothing. I would
Exactly.
prefer silver. I would prefer a lot of these other assets. Oh hell, hey Cam.
Okay.
Cam, do you want to trade wheat? I got a bunch of wheat. Oh, hemp. You want some hemp? How about some flour? Wait, you might not be from one of those states.
Matt. Okay, Matt Dodge. Matt Dodge. I'll take you.
To be able to trade hemp with you, because hemp is actually one of the few, the constantly resourcing.
But here's the thing. Here's where I'm going with all of this throwing out random shit and making it splattering the wall. No, Doku, here's where I'm going. I'm going straight to the point. The point is, we have a fiat currency. It's backed by what? Donald Trump, the chairman of the Fed. Who's it backed by? No. Wait a minute. It's backed by.
It is
by words.
Indirectly.
It's backed by words. It's backed by, hey, in God we trust. Okay.
No, it's backed by debt. Is what it's backed by. So Matt Dodge.
Oh, you want to go to Hamilton? Okay, I'll go to
Matt Dodge.
I will fucking duel you. Fuck you. Hamilton can suck my rebel cock. Fuck
Matt Dodge. Matt Dodge. Let's have a small debate. So, all right. I say we should go back to the gold standard. You wanted to ask, why should our currency not be backed by oil? Okay, let's go down that rabbit hole.
I think you're both fucking stupid, but okay.
Kim, I would like to hear a woman's input here. What would you back our currency from?
Silver.
Why?
Because unlike gold, it is not so malleable that it is destroyed easily. And it's also a commodity that is scarce. So it actually does have intrinsic value. Whereas we can print all the freaking money that we want all day long, and it's just going to devalue the monetary dollar.
Okay, interesting take. Mad Dodge.
Well, no, real quick, Doku. I actually like her take on that. I wouldn't make the same argument with gold as well. What I brought up was oil, because when it comes to oil right now, the United States went from oil dependent to oil independent. In other words, we have a surplus. we're
Okay.
good to go. So that would up the value
Debatable.
of the dollar. So when you up the value of the dollar, then our debt goes down. You understand what I'm saying here? I'm sure you do. So as the value of the dollar goes up, the debt amount goes down, which lessens the
The debt
problem with my children,
goes
where
down
they
if
they
we
inherit
pay
our
it
debt.
off.
Okay, Mad Dodge, that's a fair point. I'm cutting both of you off right here, right now. Okay, Mad Dodge, how is oil created? You need organic matter, you need heat, and you need pressure.
Or you
Given
need
enough
coal, or you need coal. You can't create oil from coal, and we are the Saudi Arabia of coal. This is a fucking thing we can do, sir.
But that means it's not
He was
limitless.
actually
Hold
making the-
on, Kim. Hold on, Kim.
No,
'Cause
I
I'm
was
going.
saying that you were making the same point because you still need pressure and oil.
Yeah, which means you still need energy. We can still get that from the sun. Here's the thing. When it comes to oil, you can still create it. It is not a limitless resource. The same way that cutting down trees and getting wood is not a limitless resource. It is renewable. It just takes a lot more time and a lot more energy. With gold, all heavy metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, uranium, doesn't matter what it is, it's all created through the reaction that happens when a star decides to go boom. That is still created. Everything in the universe,
Supernova goes by.
everything in the universe is still a limited resource except for one thing, and that is time. Now, if you want a strong fiscal system, if you want a currency that will never be determined based upon the market value of gold, oil, silver, or anything like that, this is what you're going to have to do. You abolish the Fed. You put a set interest rate as far as the Treasury is concerned, and you do not print dollars. However many dollars are out there, that's however many. They do not
That's
go
what
up.
I was saying.
They do not go down. That will stabilize the global financial system. Because we have a global financial system. The one thing that will stabilize it is saying that.
Dude, I hate to do this to you, but I got to. Epileptic in the chat says, I thought oil came from dinosaur bones. Oh shit. Where dinos? It all comes back to where dinos.
Well, I hate to correct you there on that one. It actually comes from plant matter, more often than not.
No, but here's the thing, man. I believe Kem and I are both on the same page. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kem, of course.
I will.
Here's the thing. When it comes to a hard currency like silver or gold, you have a set amount. This is how much the United States government owns. This is how much we may print. This is how much coinage we can produce. This is what we have. Therefore, there is a set price. One denare is one denare in Roman terms. $1 is $1 when it was a fucking gold certificate.
But okay, so no. Oh.
Except, hate to cut you off, Kim. Except, Mad Dodge, you are incorrect about that. Let me ask you this. We can create, through specific means, cubic zirconium.
Yeah, and we could tell that it's not a real diamond. What's your point?
But what is a real diamond?
A real diamond is one created from natural pressure, while cubic zirconium is created by human pressure. The same can be said of the difference between fool's gold and gold. There
Yeah,
is
but
the
no, those are two completely different minerals. So, okay, let's pull on this thread. We can go to another planet. We can go to an asteroid. Or let's say a meteorite hits the planet. Now we suddenly have more of a particular resource. Are they limitless?
no. The limit will run out one day. There's still a set amount. What you're talking about here is almost like the Bitcoin terms, where there is a
So,
set amount set by the
so,
creator. The
so
creator in this
this,
case would be the stars or the cosmos or God. Whatever you personally believe in can be your said creator. But the thing
but now with this,
remains that there is only as much gold as there is gold, sir.
but we can still find gold from other sources. It just now suddenly becomes more expensive and more intensive to acquire.
So
We
you
have
have
to
to
spend
spend
more
gold to
energy.
get gold. How much gold do you get in exchange? We're
So
still
so
dealing with
here's
the economy.
which is why I say this. Here's what we do. We don't print any more money. Just say the amount of money that's in circulation now, that's it. No more, no less. It doesn't matter if you're talking about gold, doesn't matter if you're talking about oil, doesn't matter if you're talking about silver, doesn't matter if you're talking about wheat, corn, lean hogs, does not matter. This is how this commodity is valued. The amount of money that is flowing around does not change. We're already in a position to do that. We should do it right now. That will fix a lot of the economic problems that we have. The second thing we should do is stop letting the Fed control interest rates because they do not answer to the government. They do not answer to any bank or anyone except for themselves. Fix those two things. Well, I hope you have a lot of land because you can grow a lot of trees, make a lot of timber, make a lot of money. But I can tell you why that won't happen. Because there's a lot of people that are making a lot of fucking money because they're printing a lot of it, and there's a lot of people that are going into debt. And the thing is, you're going into debt not because you're going to make money, but because your dollar is going to be worth 0.2% less next year than it is this year. Because they can just print more of it. That's the way it works. That's what they don't teach you. It's called a targeted inflation rate. They can print as much fucking money as they want. That's why people lose money. That's why they can't pay off their debts. You think they're you think they're getting more gold? You think they're getting more silver? They're getting more oil or growing more trees to get more lumber? No, they're not. They never have been. That's been the gigantic Ponzi scheme. You don't have anything that is of any real tangible value aside from, I don't know, maybe you might own a car. Maybe you own a house if you're lucky. Most people don't. Most people rent. As long as they can print money and manipulate interest rates, guess what?
They can fuck the economy.
Yeah, you're just a fucking debt slave. That's all it boils down to. It if you're smart, buy an ETF. Don't buy a stock, but buy an ETF that pays a monthly dividend that yields over 2% because that's what the targeted interest rate is. At least you'll maintain purchasing power. But the most important thing you could possibly do, pay off your credit card debt and make sure your car is paid off. Pay those two things off first, you're good. Then start looking at your student loans. Once that's done, then start paying off your house. That's what you can do. But until then,
Well, hey,
your dollar doesn't matter for shit.
Can you loan me 10% on a $400,000 house? I'm sure that's nothing bad. I mean, you got oil stocks, right? No.
All right,
we're live, dude. Obviously, I'm joking, Doku.
No, I know. But no, there are plenty of
You
stocks
better
that
be
pay.
joking because I got plans for that money on my mansion.
Oh, snap. You heard it here, folks. Kem's already sucker. You know what? No, Kem, he's mine. No.
Bitch ass
Oh,
words that I am not going to use.
Yeah, because
I've had him
YouTube
for
will fuck
7
us
years now. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not gonna screw you guys over like that. But I've already been working him for 7 years, motherfucker.
yeah, well,
He's mine.
we've had intimate conversations on Discord. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, and we haven't ever.
Oh, wait, what? Oh.
I can't
I
do
love how
it.
Doug's just like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
What got flipped? Like, what switch got flipped?
No, my wife's over there laughing. I can't do it anymore. I'm laughing my ass off. Damn
Well,
it.
no, what I like is he was about to justify something for a second there, and then he was just like, wait, what?
What were you going to justify? Wait a minute. Because I was full of shit the whole time. You're getting weird, Doku.
I'm the one getting weird. Oh, okay, buddy.
Yep.
You actually are getting weird, baby.
How the fuck am I the one getting weird? I'm over here talking about economics, and you're talking about gold digging or some shit.
Actually, I was talking about eating babies, but I don't know. I guess
Just like that, we're demonetized.
Wait a minute. No. Dude, we totally need to make her a Sabat member. Like, eating babies? Dude, chalk that off the list. She's good to go.
Oh.
For the record, the eating babies comment was because I just saw the Goya exhibit at Dolly Museum. If anybody doesn't know about art, Goya likes to paint a bunch of babies being eaten. But I was really disappointed in the lack of eaten babies versus the amount of, like, horse head people. Or goat head people, rather.
Wow, it sounds like the whole exhibit was very Satan-centric. So, props on that. But the thing is, there was too many goat-headed people and not enough baby eating.
Yeah, dude, seriously, like I was going there with the assumption that I would be able to satiate my baby eating fill. And I feel a little lacking.
Yeah, Doku, I made this weird. Sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
God damn it.
Glad to be of service, gentlemen.
Yeah. No, Kev, it's a pleasure as always. No, so about these goat heads, I'm kind of interested. Was it very satanic? Was there a lot of pentagrams behind them? Or was
dude, have you never seen Goya's work before? He's late 1700s, early 1800s. Like, the majority of the exhibit was, like, penis-nosed goblins. I'll just put it to you that way.
Penis-nosed goblins. Okay.
Yeah, it's right up Doku's anime alley.
Oh, fuck you.
Wow, dude. I didn't know that about you. Those jokes have a lot. Like, I shouldn't have made those jokes. He's yours, Kim.
All my secrets just being leaked out over here on the internet for all to see.
Well, just because you like tentacle porn, man. I mean, nobody other than me is.
For the record, he does not like tentacle porn. That's all you.
Well, I have not shared any of that with him. Thank you very much.
It doesn't mean that you shared it with him. You really think that we are that limited on resources that we can't find out what you watch?
Oh.
You're checking my Pornhub, huh? Well, next time
I get bored. What can I say?
Hey, have fun watching the next video with the bitch being choked. I mean, good for you.
Actually, that one bored me. I switched to the following with the bitch getting electrocuted.
Yeah, see, it's totally boring. Like, contrary to popular belief, I do not watch Bigfoot porn. Not a thing. No, not really.
No, but you're double fisting anal. I've gotta admit, I was a little shocked and surprised that you could fit that much.
Well, I mean, practice makes perfect.
I love you, dude.
I hate you, but it's okay.
Oh, God.
I'm glad to be hated.
Oh, shit. But no, here's the thing, though. Wrapping it back around somehow to RPG. See how we do this. It'll be interesting. Probably a little bit of technical porn linked in. But here's the thing. When you're looking at an RPG game, Doku, aren't you really looking at a choose your own adventure story? That's pretty much what you're looking at.
Why did you say Doku?
Well, because you're crazy.
Fair enough.
I'm not saving you on this one. But
no,
yeah,
that's why I said fair enough.
Yeah, no, that is kind of the whole point behind an RPG is people will look at the rule books and what you're supposed to do, but
dude, honestly, the people that read the rule books are the ones that die first.
Yeah, pretty much. But again, that's the whole point. The rule books are nothing but a guideline. If you stick to it tooth and nail, honestly, it's boring as shit. It is supposed to be like a choose your own adventure game. If you can't look at what's been provided to you and take it and create your own story, then you're either really shit at playing RPGs or just really uncreative, maybe a combination of both. But yeah, no one wants to play an RPG with somebody that can't actually tell a decent story or play a decent character. Even the people playing characters are still supposed to be a storyteller in their own right. They're just not the ones running the game. That's why they call them a game master.
Well, no, and you're absolutely correct in my opinion. And looking at the chat, Goatman, yeah, I stand with Goatman. I saw you earlier. You stand with Mad Dodge. I got your back, Goat Man. He says rules are made to be broken. Yeah, when you're looking at RPG games, I really do like the Pirates of the Caribbean mantra. Parlay. You have to let me free. First off, you're not a pirate. Second, the code is not necessarily a set of rules. They're more like guidelines. You know what I mean? Like, go fuck yourself, bitch.
Well, again, and he's not wrong when they say rules are made to be broken. When it comes to playing an RPG, they are guidelines. Like if you can't take the rules and look at how the mechanics work and bend them or twist them to the type of story you're trying to tell, well, you shouldn't be a GM.
Well, no, and that's what's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. Is like Jensen is a great storyteller. He is good at creating the story and the plot and the outline and weaving it all together. He is fucking awesome at it. He really fucking is. And he's good at the details. But when we're playing, he gets interrupted so much, he doesn't give a fuck no more. He's like, yeah, you weave through the fucking people and you're in the fucking place. No, dude. Like, let's immerse ourselves. And that's not a Jensen issue. That's a player's issue. That's us. You know what I mean? Everybody playing the game needs to fucking get it. Shut the fuck up when the storyteller's talking. Knock it off.
Yeah, I agree because, dude, when the guy who is running the story, like, you're the players, he's the guy running the story. When he's setting up the scene, when he's telling you how the story is going to unfold, you're the ones interacting with the story that he's putting in place. You're the ones that have to interact with the environments and the characters that aren't you. You're the ones that are going to have to figure out how you act in certain situation. Yes. Yeah, so that has nothing to do with Jensen. It has more to do with the fact that y'all need to shut the fuck up and listen, because if you don't, you're gonna get your characters killed. Don't do that.
Yo,
Bad
Matt.
idea.
Oh, go ahead, Kim. Go for it.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask you, is there a point in time that you have free that we could work together to build my character?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, DM me. I never know when you're around. So, and you're Doku's girl, so I'm not just going to write you out of nowhere. That's weird.
Dude, Doku doesn't care, and neither do I. That's freaking dumb. Doku knows that you're not trying to, like, get in my pants or anything. It's not like that.
Yeah, when you have a free chance, dude, just fucking DM her and talk to her and help her build her fucking character out so we can get her in the fucking game.
To be honest, I don't use Discord that much, so I just don't think about using it.
Yeah, no, if you're on Twitter, you should add me over there. And Goatman. Hey, Goatman, are you in my Discord, dude? I see you in the chat. You're talking about how you like RPGs, man. We are doing the reason I brought up this topic tonight for the late night madness, and I haven't been streaming a lot lately. I've had a lot of stuff going on in my real life. But the reason I brought this topic up is we are going to start streaming Vampire the Masquerade. That is going to happen. I am going to shift a little bit. We will still have our news. We will still have our history. A little bit of conspiracy stuff here and there. But we are going to shift towards RPG games. And I happen to like Vampire the Masquerade. So, fuck it. Yeah, Vampire.
Dude, vampires are awesome. but I don't know. They need to be put under control.
See,
as long as they're not fucking Twilight style fucking vampires.
well,
No,
what's funny,
I
though,
think that vampires just need to be controlled by other vampires, though.
well, no, what's funny is in our game, we mix everything in White Wolf. So you have Fae, the fairies and the elves and the dwarves and all those weird fuckers. You have the werewolves and the what the fuck ever. You have the vampires and all their clans. You have the ghosts. You have the mages. You have all this other stuff, and it's all interacting in the same world, the same city. It's actually quite chaotic.
Dude, Jensen sounds like he's got a pretty big role. Like trying to tie everything in together.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and that's why I made a point when I said that was it's the players' problem. We need to work together. We need to knock it off and let the storyteller actually do his fucking job. And when it comes to the game we're playing in the modern era, I am supposed to host half the game. That hasn't been happening. Why? Because nobody fucking listens and they all talk through it. I can't host it.
Well, you need to smack some bitches up then. Come on, man. You're an all-powerful vampire. You can do it.
That's pretty funny because actually in the game, I am a 6th gen. So I am the most powerful vampire in the game. But
Okay,
MC,
so I think that we need to play some Prodigy Smack My Bitch Up.
yeah, but MC is a demon, which when you interact with the demons in the White Wolf system, they are quite powerful. Matter of fact, he can snap his fingers and light fire. Kind of a problem.
Hell, there's a reason that I'm working towards a specific goal, and if we can get Kim's character built out,
are we going to work on what you and I had to bring my character in?
Well, talk to Bad Dodge and DM, because I'm working on something currently, but considering what you decide to do or don't decide to do, things could get very, very, very fucking interesting.
Doku, can you create a group chat between the three of us?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. I'd appreciate that.
Well,
Anyways.
why Doku does that, Goatman says he also enjoys turn-based RPGs. It's funny. I did like Final Fantasy X. I did like 7 a little bit, and those were the turn-based.
I love 10.
10 was pretty good. A lot of the old school players didn't like 10 though. 10 didn't go over very well. Yeah,
I did not like 10. I did not like 10. I liked 9. I liked 7.
I just didn't
I liked 6.
What was that? Yaki Ball or whatever the fuck?
Yakuba or whatever Yuka. I think it was Yuka.
Wait, no, Yuka was the character's name. That was.
Oh, you're talking about the fucking sports fucking.
Yeah, that's stupid crap.
Yeah, no, I hated that shit. Like, nah, you can fuck right off with that.
Wait, real quick. TM Ryder says, "Can anyone turn the vampire game?" I'm not necessarily sure what you mean. If you mean, can anybody join the Vampire the Masquerade game? Yeah, join the Discord and talk to either me or Jensen or Doku or MC, and we can probably add you to the role playing spot, and you can join. I don't know if that's what you're asking though.
Yeah, he said join, not turn. So yeah, TM was Curious if you could join in.
Yeah, the answer is yes. Doku, do you have him on Twitter? You want to send him a invite to the Discord? I don't throw that in general anymore because of the raid we had.
Yeah, dude, honestly, no offense, I don't know who I have on Twitter anymore because, bro, I've been having people fucking follow me by like the hundreds every day. I can't keep up. These people that are doing the whole like Trump train thing.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking pathetic how many people he's gotten in just like 2 days.
Dude, it's been ridiculous. Like, I get what they're doing. Like, I understand they're trying to be like, hey, fuck Twitter. Screw you for trying to censor us. That's their way of trying to protest. But I made like one or two, like, here's an American flag, a thumbs up, and a cheers symbol emoji. And then I got stuck on one of these lists, and it's been like fucking anywhere between like 20 to 200 people fucking following me per day. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like,
Yeah, and you haven't added me. Well, fuck you. But no,
dude, you're on my fucking Twitter. What the fuck are you talking about?
you haven't added me to that fucking, subscribe everybody trade.
He can't add anybody.
Yeah,
He's not cool enough.
it's not my. Well, I'm not able to because I'm not the one doing it. It's other people doing it, and
Like
I'm just.
I said, he's not cool enough. Excuses.
I'm not able to fuck. I'm not the one making the tweets, asshole. I'm just stuck with the tweets, and they keep sending them out. So
I'm just stuck with the voices. I don't set them.
yeah, there's
That's
nothing
all
I can fucking.
Doku, you are getting so butthurt over nothing. It's adorable.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not butthurt. What's concerning me is the fact that Twitter is saying you can't engage in quote trains, otherwise your account could get deleted. They're getting mad about it. They're getting really mad about it.
Doku, did I tell you that I made my mom look at the difference between Safari or Google and DuckDuckGo?
I was totally gonna go a different direction with that because you said something about a trade, and she's like, "Doku, did I tell you?"
Oh God, no!
Oh, God damn it, bad touch.
Jerry.
Not with my mom.
Oh
God!
Mad Dodge,
no.
Mad Dodge, I kind of hate you a little bit right now.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
No, well, I mean, my mom does have a nice ass for an older white bitch.
There you go, Doku.
She said it, not me. You can fuck right the hell off.
Yeah, Doku refuses to agree with me. He always has. And the thing is, like, all my friends growing up were always like, oh my God, damn, Jess, your mom, she got fucking ghetto ass. Like,
yeah, Doku. Does your future mother-in-law have a ghetto ass?
Stop trying to drag me into this, Mad Dodge. You can just stop.
I'm having too much fun. I don't wanna.
Not as much as me. That's a sad part.
Oh God, fuck both of you. God damn it, no.
I would really like to, but you're a little far away.
Talk yourself into that corner, Doku.
Yeah, I didn't think before I spoke.
You never do, but that's okay.
I hate both of you so much.
But I love you.
Yeah, I love you. I
yeah,
love
and
But fuck you.
you love Mad, but you're a little bit butthurt.
No,
Oh,
no,
No,
fuck
just
you,
a little
Doku.
bit.
No, Doku, somehow I'm in trouble. My wife's like, doghouse. I'm like, what'd I do? She's like, you and Doku both doghouse. I'm like, what? No, wait a minute here.
Wait, she said me and what did I do?
I know, right? What the hell? The woman's going crazy.
I mean, Mad Dodge, I'll toss you a bone and everything, but what the fuck did I do? I didn't do anything.
I bet you would.
God.
Oh, damn! I fucking dug that grave for myself. Fuck me.
Yeah, even my wife's like,
You know what? I'm not even going to try with that one because that was just.
Yeah, that would be low hanging fruit.
Fuck me. Well, you are pretty low hanging fruit, sweetheart.
Oh. Oh. Mad Dodge, do you see what I have to deal with?
Dude, yeah. Doghouse? Doghouse. Okay. Yeah, fuck you.
Hold up. Matt, let me talk to your broad real quick.
No, do not let them speak. No. Mad Dodge, do not
you
let them
serious?
speak to each other.
Are you serious, Doku?
Dude, it's gonna end up fucking both of you.
Hey,
We're both
Doku.
gonna get fucked.
Doku, my wife. Okay, what's her thingy on Discord?
Oh no. Well, Mad Dodge, I tried to warn you.
You know,
nice
you're
knowing your
both
brother.
fucking idiots.
I'm with Goatman. Women are to be seen and not heard. Preferably
No,
on their...
that's children, and Goatman can suck a chode, which
Hey, I stand with Goatman.
I bet you do, and I bet you're gonna be sleeping on a lovely couch tonight.
I am not.
Oh.
I was on the fast track to get laid earlier, damn it.
Yeah, and you done fucked that up, didn't you?
Oh, god damn it. Doku,
Yeah.
I blame you.
I didn't do anything. There's something I have to point out, Goatman. Girls and children. Kim and I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one. Mad Dodge's lady. They're not necessarily women. They're more of the type of people that you would either love or are probably going to slit your throat in your sleep. In other words, they're psychopaths. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I do not necessarily support Goatman's opinion here, but I will state it. He says a woman's place is to be barefoot,
Pregnant, and in the kitchen. And the only reason she should be in the kitchen is so she can tell the time. If she's in the kitchen and pregnant, you're just feeding more like cancer to children that you're actually claiming as your own.
Cam, if you're in my Discord, Rebel Mama is my wife in there. She's trying to find you and she can't. So yeah. She's active right now up at the very top in my Discord. Should be easy to find.
Hold up. Yeah, I just
did that because she bugged me about it. Facebook. And if I don't give in, then I don't get laid. And well, I have priorities, my friend.
Oh yeah, and just to point out, Kim is the type of person that really doesn't care if you got balls or you got ovaries. Nah, none of that matters. It
Oh, well,
if you
my
fuck up,
wife
you fucked up.
my wife isn't necessarily a prude. She'll probably flirt back, bitches. But anyway,
Oh no, that's not what I was talking about. I was more saying that now Kim is more of the type that would say, "Bitch, I'll make your ass go into the kitchen. Considering you don't know how to cook." See, Kim's a dick. If you think I'm a dick, multiply it by 10. By 10, that's Kim.
goat man. I have 4 kids. I'm doing my part for the white race. Thank you, David Duke. We appreciate your saying the comment.
Insert Starship Troopers reference.
Yeah.
Would you like to know more?
Kill the praying mantis.
But Mad Dodge, you just made a horrible mistake.
Oh yeah, let my wife talk to your girlfriend. I am sure that nothing good will come of that. I am positive of this.
Time will tell. Well, dude, if you need a couch, if you can fly across half of the country, there's a couch waiting for you.
Yeah, with what money, my wife says. Yeah, you got to help a homie out.
Yeah, don't worry, we're both screwed.
I'll ask him for a loan. He'll be fine.
Oh no, dude, she's just gonna send you one of my kidneys and tell you to fucking sell it on the black market.
Hey, I can sell it to an Antifa member.
God damn.
This is pure. It came right from Kenya. It's great.
Oh no! Oh, I thought that was Ilhan Omar. Oh wait, I'm not allowed to say that.
Oh wow! Okay, you took my horrible joke and times it by 10. Nice. I like that. Good job.
I'm very politically correct. I promise.
Oh yeah, you're a regular dolphin over here. Like,
oh fuck. Do we have anything else to talk about?
oh yeah, we have tons, man. All right, the Chinese are sending tanks across the causeway. That can't end bad. You know,
Oh,
that'll be fine.
Yeah,
That's perfectly good, guys. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, there's no way that could end horribly.
Yeah, not at all, man. I mean, Tiananmen Square, perfectly fine. Like nothing happened to that guy. He was good, golden. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the real issue. Real issue is tanks and military troops heading across the causeway into Hong Kong. You got thousands of protesters lining the streets, American flags, Pepe posters. Really, Pepe? All right. Long live Kekistan. You'll be our last fight. Good for you. I appreciate it. I'm an internet guy. Of course I appreciate it. But thing is, man, really? You're going to die over a Pepe poster? What's really going on here? It's not a Pepe poster. You know what it is? It's freedom. Freedom of speech. Freedom of thought. Freedom of political affiliation. You know, stuff we tend to take for granted until we don't have it, which, you know, we probably won't have it soon. Here's the thing really remains, do we stand for freedom or do we stand for ourselves? I mean, I'm fine with being a selfish prick. I'm good with that. All right, cool. As long as we know where we stand. But I'm not cool with being a selfish prick and being fake about it. Like, oh yeah, we'll help you. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, fight on, brother. Yeah, go fuck yourself, right? We're gonna sit over here and eat some bacon and watch. No, that's not okay with me. Either we take a side or we don't, but we make it clear. Where do you stand? I had my diatribe. Go ahead.
My whole point on this one is, it is Hong Kong technically part of China? Yes. It has nothing to do with the United States, has nothing to do with any other country. But considering what China is doing, there are certain actions that the United States could take, especially considering the fact that we're currently in a trade war with them, that I think should be escalated. It put a little bit of pressure on them. But I don't think that's going to help anybody in Hong Kong. This is a very interesting type of situation. We could try to put pressure on China from an economic standpoint. That doesn't mean it's going to help anybody in Hong Kong. The only thing we could really do as far as direct intervention would be quite literally that, direct intervention. But that could also easily escalate into from a Cold War to a hot war. That's probably not something we want to do. That would not be good for the people of Hong Kong, would not be good for the United States, it would not be good for China. That would not be good for anybody.
Okay.
This is a very strange, very, very, very strange type of situation, and it's a very touchy situation.
Yes, it is. It is very strange, very touchy. You are absolutely correct. But yeah, that but is there. But the thing remains. Okay. Our intervention directly would jeopardize their freedom. What freedom do they have without our intervention? I would say zero. Do we have to intervene directly? Do United States F-22s need to fly over Beijing? No, they don't. You know what needs to happen? Japan mobilizes, moves, secures the causeway, secures the fucking route in, the route out. Suddenly, you have Japan move. Yeah, that's going to make tempers fly. It will. What will
Actually,
be worse?
No, Mad Dodge, no, I'm gonna
United
disagree. I'm gonna disagree with you on this one. That's not what should happen. Honestly, what should happen from a strategic standpoint is we need to have the 7th Fleet. This is the fleet, the carrier battle group that patrols the South China Sea. We need to have the 7th Battle Group escorting Taiwanese, Hong Kong, and other
All right. Chat, can you still hear me? Hey, Goatman, I see you in there. Can you still hear me? Doku died. I'm wondering if it's me or him. I'm going to pause here for a second and wait for you to respond. Okay, I'm good. It's Doku. That's the issue. All right. So, let's check out the chat. What's going on? Hey, Goatman, TM. TM, you were saying you were interested in playing Vampire the Masquerade a little bit. What experience do you have with tabletop RPGs? Would you like to write in there what you played, or what you know about. Mr. Goatman, same for you. How are you guys doing tonight? Epileptic, I've been talking to you for a while tonight. Hope you've been doing good. I haven't talked to Wolfie lately. I hope she's doing well doing well also. Tabletop RPG. Sorry, man. My apologies. Either way, which ones do you like? It is online. Okay. When I say tabletop, we are using a electronic dice roller. Some of us have real dice and actually roll them. Some of us have electronic. I have the PDFs for everything you need to actually play. If you want to play, get a hold of me. I can share that via email. But these are tabletop RPGs. They are not video games where you log in and you're playing, I don't know, Skyrim with a bunch of your friends. And Goatman, yeah, you don't know anything about Vampire the Masquerade. Neither did I until recently, actually. And it's really a fun game. I was playing a lot of D&D, where, it's hack and slash, regular adventure fucking stories. It's all copy and paste. Vampire is really unique, where it's not necessarily copy and paste. It's not really like that. So that's kind of what I gained out of that. And I'm going to wait for some more chat responses or Doku to pop back up here. You haven't played tabletop since you were in the 10th grade. Yeah, back in high school, freshman, sophomore, junior year, I was playing a lot of card games. So I was playing Magic the Gathering. I played Star Trek, the card game. I know, total nerd, whatever. But that's the type of stuff I was playing. 92. I was going to be 03. We got a bit of an age gap going on, Goatman. But it's all right. It's cool. TM Writer, D&D, I get. Vampire Masquerade sounds interesting. So we do it on Discord or... the thing is, yes, we do it on Discord. And we've been doing it almost every day. Jump in Discord tomorrow, and I or Jensen or both of us will help you create a character, and you'll be able to join. And Doku, how's the internet issues going?
It's not internet. StreamYards decided to crash because
it hates everything.
Yeah, no, it only took 3 minutes to get back going.
Oh no, and I've just been talking here to the chat. Epileptic. Never played Vampire the Masquerade. It came close a lot, but the storyteller either folded or just had a shit experience. Yeah, see, that's what we were talking about at the beginning of the chat here, right, Doku, was how a storyteller can get, really fucking irritated and pissed off when the players, they either won't work together, which sometimes you could play off that. You can make that work. That's okay. But you add they won't work together. They keep jumping storylines, and also they're mixing D&D powers with vampire powers. You kind of have a fucking issue, don't you?
Oh, it's more so when people don't work together just to push the narrative. It gets really annoying for not just the storyteller, but for everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And hey, TM, no, sounds good. Sunday I'll be around. I'll help you set up a sheet. Right now we're doing Portland by night, but I was the Baron. I am now in exile. We are in New Orleans, at least part of us. The other half is in Portland. We'll work out where you want to be when you join. So hit me up on Sunday and I'll help you out. So, and Kem, Doku's
What's
already
up?
setting up your player. He really is. And he was doing some awesome role playing last night. Like straight Malkavian. Like pretending he's talking to himself, but doing it out loud to the goal he just made. It was really good role playing, Doku. Seriously, props.
I actually do believe that wholeheartedly. I'm just hoping that he's actually taking my character into account, but knowing him, I know that he would because he knows me and knows our dynamic. So,
Well, and also I'm trying to build your character into a way that you would be able to play, and you would enjoy playing, considering how my character is. Like,
I don't give a fuck how your character is. I just care about everybody else's character. I only have to deal with you alone for a little while, right?
oh, geez, God, I love you too.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
jeez.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Kev, my wife even looked over and went, ow, ouch. Like, yeah, no.
Tell her I'm not ignoring her. I'm just scared I'm going to lose. If I go back to Discord, I'm scared I'm going to lose the chat again.
Oh, no, you guys are going through my speakers. She can hear you. So, no worries. But no, Doku, seriously, props. You were doing a great job, and it was just me and you. You didn't have to go in depth, but you were sitting there and playing your character. Now, once again, back to the topic of the stream, RPG games. Isn't there something to actually playing your fucking character, even if it's not you? Like maybe you are a calm, controlled person. You don't wig out. You don't get overly emotional, but your character does. He's a Bruja. He has two in self control, and he just
I'm
the
I'm
fuck
a
out.
I'm a
right?
Malkavian. I'm a Malkavian, sir.
Well, I'm not talking about you, but I'm saying in general. You know, you're playing a dichotomy of yourself, the exact opposite. That's the role playing
dichotomy,
aspect, right? Dichotomy,
Yeah.
whatever. You're correcting my English now.
And
Thanks,
she does it to everybody. She does it to
No.
everyone.
I have
yeah,
to.
no,
It's instinctual. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't mean to, but I have to.
It's okay. I was just messing with you. It's all
No,
good.
seriously, I'm like that weirdo OCD person that has to correct, like, even if it's just under my breath. But when I say it under my breath, everybody thinks that I'm being insulting, so.
No, but yeah, it is important for like a lot of people don't do this when they play RPGs, or whether it's tabletop or in a video game or otherwise, that yeah, you're supposed to be playing a character, and they don't.
Well, that's because most people want to play themselves. And unfortunately, people are boring or stupid.
Well, no, absolutely. And like I was trying to say, when we get into role playing games, there's a give and take between the storyteller or dungeon master, game master, whatever you want to call yourself, because you feel overly important. That's on you. I don't care. But there's a give and a take between them and the player, right?
There should be.
For the most part, but a lot of players don't really view it that way.
Well, expand upon that as we get to the closing area here. We're about at 2.5 hours, so we're getting towards the end here. But kind of finish out that thought. What do you mean players don't see it that way? Aren't they just a guest in the storyteller's realm, right? This is a story.
They're supposed to be, but they are not usually, because everybody, well, I mean, it's kind of like how everybody tries to speak over top of themselves in a chat. Everybody feels like their role needs to be important, so they want their role to be important.
No, I like that point. Doku, can you expand upon that? Like, you two, go ahead here. I really do like that point though, Kem, because you're right. And like when I'm playing, I feel like I should be the main character. I'm the highest generation. I was the Baron. Like, fuck all of you. But then again, every other character feels the same way, right?
You fucking elitist.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, no, that is a valid point, because if you think about it this way, everybody is playing a certain type of character. They think their character is the most important. They're not necessarily thinking about the fact that you're just one character in a story that is created by whoever the storyteller is. So obviously you're going to be playing that character as if, you're most concerned about yourself. That can be a good thing. That could also be a really bad thing.
That's a stupid thing when you think about it, though, because if you think about actual character stats, there are character buffs that are good for entire groups, and then there are character buffs that are only specific to you. But if you yourself can't take out an entire group, you're kind of screwed. You need the character buffs.
Well, and that's why you're supposed to play a character in a specific way. Like, if you're playing a character that knows, yeah, I can't necessarily fight, but I can do this or I can do that. That's how you should play the character.
Well,
when you break character, then it kind of fucks things up.
Well, no, Doku, the thing, see, this is how I would say it, is like, okay, I'm on, you, Doku, your character in Vampire is on the path of humanity. You're trying to be more in touch with your human self. That is the basic starting path, right? That is the default. I am on the path of night. I can't just bow to somebody and say thank you. I can't just be a peasant. My character feels he is better than you innately. He doesn't give a fuck. He's been alive for 400 years. Who the fuck are you? You're a fucking peon, a fucking cunt. Fuck you. That's how I have to play him. You understand? So that goes into the role players fucking realm where you have to play that character.
Speaking of which, I kind of want to be on the same level, but like a dead version.
Well, yeah, no, and what I'm trying to say here is like, okay, today's when I was playing earlier today, I'm in the court. The prince is yelling at me. He is a 7th gen or 8th generation vampire. I am 6th. I look at
he's
him
a
in
bitch.
the eyes. Yeah, I look at him in 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 the eyes. And I use dominate. and I win. Why? Because, well, fuck you. I'm better than you. But the thing is, I broke a rule. Like, I used the power in Elysium. I used it on the Prince, and I didn't give a shit. But I couldn't play it any other way. If I did, then I would lose a point in my path. Because he's
And to be honest, who cares about rules? You're a fucking vampire.
Exactly. And like in my path, it is where like you don't let people talk down to you and treat you badly. He's yelling at me and treating me like shit. I looked at him and used dominate and pretty much made him my bitch. That fits my character. Is that the smartest move? Absolutely fucking not. If I was Doku's character, I would have fucking kissed the ring and left as quick as possible. No way I would have
can
done
Matt,
actually,
can you do me a favor and let Rebel Mama know I can't respond right now. I'm actually not using my phone. I'm using a really, really old phone. So if I switch back and forth, it's going to cut off any one of these. I don't know.
Oh no, she said it's fine. She can hear you. Like I said, you're going through the
Okay.
speakers. And it looks like
Awesome.
Mad Dodge, in all fairness, if you were my character, you would have said, hand me the gun. Let me see who I get to kill first. That's likely more of what would have happened. And my character would probably be dead.
No, it was funny when I walked in, I had to surrender my weapons, right? So I give him my sword and I go, hey, I'm looking at a ghoul, right? You know, a fucking half-breed. And I'm like, hey, if there's one fucking scratch or dent in this sword, I will fucking meet you in the alley and I'll rip your head off and shit down your fucking throat. And Jensen being the prick he
That
is.
reminds me of the punk contest or punk shows I used to go to.
Yeah, no, Jensen being the prick he is says the ghoul looks down and sees the one notch in the sword. You know, because you know that notch when I hit the cat on accident.
Yeah.
So he's like, the ghoul looks down and notices the notch and looks at you, goes, and I'm like, I didn't miss a beat. I'm like, yeah. And that motherfucker isn't around anymore. You want to be like them?
I love it.
Yeah, like, fuck you. Yeah, that notch, I handled that.
It happens. It happens.
But in general, I think we're gonna wrap it up here soon. RPGs, Doku. What did you start with? You had said it earlier before, but refresh us here. What did you start with, and why do you like these type of immersive games? Because they are immersive. I don't care if you're thinking about it. It is
Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, Warhammer 40,000 is what I started with, but no, the whole thing. Well, that video games, yeah, but sure. No, the reason I like these types of games and these types of immersive experiences is not necessarily because of the lore behind them or what the rules or the mechanics are, but because it's something I can sit down and I can play with people I like sitting down and playing with, and it's just fucking fun. Like, everybody else can go fuck themselves. If you like it, don't play it. If you do, okay. And then you can turn around and you have the ability to be creative. Like with Warhammer 40,000, I can paint my models the way I want to, or like with Vampire, I can create a certain type of character, and I can sit down with my fucking friends and play and see how things fucking play out. But I don't see why anybody would not want to engage in this type of escapism.
Well, no, and to be honest, what I like about these RPG games isn't necessarily the dice rolls. Those are superficial. It's the interaction and well, for lack of a better term, the wannabe acting. It's the role playing. You know, you're playing a Dark Ages character. You're saying my lord, my lady. You're playing a modern age character. You're still kind of saying that, because when it comes to Camarilla, you have a prince. Comes to the Anarchs, you have a baron. Comes to the Sabbat, you're in a pack. I mean, it's all still these primitive terms, is it not?
Well, it's because it's fun. You get, like I said, it's escapism. You get to pretend to be something you're not. It's just entertaining.
Absolutely. And Kim, have you
Yes,
ever
sir.
actually played a tabletop RPG? Or when you
No,
get up on Vampire, will that be the first?
no. I used to play Magic, but I never played like any kind of RPGs or anything like that. Like my characters in Magic had their own traits and whatnot, but it was completely different from this, if that makes sense.
No, it does. You never had to actually role play and interact like right now.
Oh, I have no problem with role playing.
Not what I meant. Doku, control your woman. No.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
My wife's laughing her ass off over there. by the way.
Good, because you know what? I like your wife. Your wife is good people, in my opinion.
Everybody loves my wife.
You know, maybe that should say something about yourself.
Oh.
Wait, no, is that bad or good? I don't even know. Like my wife even said, "Ouch." I don't know if that's an ouch.
It kind of is, just because she obviously stepped down.
I think
That
she
was
might have just
That was a
gave
bit
you
harsh.
a bit of a dick slap there.
That was a bit harsh. What I would say is, when it comes to something like that, my wife is totally awesome because I know how to pick them, and that makes me totally awesome. So you say step down, I say I jumped
Okay,
up.
fine. Okay, I was about to say, okay, fine. We're not gonna necessarily call it a step down, but she settled and you escalated.
That actually sounds even more hard.
No, actually, and I have my wife behind me. You know how to pick them? Talking about my exes. I'm like, I picked you. She's like, yeah, did you? I'm like, oh, wait, you actually picked me. She's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck. Okay, well, my wife knows how to pick them, so I'm totally awesome. I still win.
I don't know. I'm starting to wonder about your wife's judgment, but
Oh,
that's okay.
ow! You know what, Kev? I've about had it with you. That's it. It took about 45 minutes, but I'm done.
I love you guys.
Doku, choker.
Thanks for having me. Oh my god. Well, now you're just asking for a good time.
Yeah, no, now you're just asking me to entertain her.
Well, never
Entertain me is one way to put it, but
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for coming out. This has been Productions. We are out of here. We might be back tomorrow. We might be back the next day. Maybe the day after that. We don't fucking know because Kim is a psycho. That's right.
Peace out, Dodgers.
We are blaming Kim for everything from now on.
I'm down and okay.
Have a good one.